Attention-grabbing secrets from the garbage bin. That's what we're talking about here tonight on Index Card Insights, guys. I want to welcome you to episode 97, day 4, attention-grabbing secrets from the garbage bin. This is Index Card Insights. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight, you guys. So this starts with a story, okay? As they often do. The other day I was taking out my recycling, actually, not the trash, but it was recycling. And you ever notice how sometimes you get those shared mailers? They'll have like flyers from different stores in them, and there'll be like a kind of a bundle of little flyers and stuff that'll come in your newspaper, or sometimes they'll just come standalone. You'll go see what you got in the mail, and you might have this shared mailer in there. It'll have several different things in it. So generally, those shared mailers for us just end up in recycling. We don't look at them too much. Probably like a lot of people, we call it junk mail. So anyways, I was taking my recycling out the other day, and as I was dumping it out, I was dumping the recycling paper out, and I noticed something caught my eye, and it was this, right? Now this is one of those advertisements, right? This is an advertisement that came out of a shared mailer. But if you look at this, you'll probably notice that it looks handwritten. Now it's not handwritten. It's actually just designed to look handwritten. But it is interesting. Another thing you'll notice about it is it looks like notebook paper. You'll notice it looks like notebook paper. So this caught my eye, right? This caught my eye enough to grab it before it went into the recycling bin. And it got my attention, right? And I had to pick it up and I had to look at it. So I saved it right before it went in the garbage bin or the recycling bin. I grabbed this and I actually took it out and looked at it, right? Now, if you're an advertiser, or if you're a marketer, or if you're someone who's trying to sell something, being able to get a consumer's attention like that, that's gold. Like, that is the Holy Grail. Just being able to get 5 seconds more of their attention, that's the difference sometimes between getting a sale and losing a sale. So I want to give you 3 insights on what happened with this right here, okay? Because that 5 seconds of attention they got from me was super valuable. Now, that 5 seconds of attention is sometimes all you need to get a sale, okay? So how do you get it? Let me give you 3 insights that came from this piece of mail, this piece of junk mail that ended up almost getting thrown in my recycling, but instead caught my attention, and now I'm sitting here using it to talk to you. Let me give you 3 insights on this, all right? Insight number 1, okay? Contrast, all right? This flyer that you're looking at, it came from a company called Renewal by Andersen. They do windows, right? They do windows, and what they've done here is they've created a flyer that looks like it was handwritten. It's not handwritten, and when you look at it a little bit closer, you can see that it's not handwritten. It looks like it was written on notebook paper. It's not notebook paper. If you look on the back, you'll see things printed on it. It just imitates something, right? But it looked completely different than everything else in that shared mailer. So as I was dumping that stuff in the recycling bin, this stood out. It stood out, right? Now, that was by design. You see, Renewal by Andersen, they knew that this was going to stand out, and it worked. It got 5 seconds more of my attention, and you know what? Even though they didn't get a sale from me, they didn't get a sale from me because I didn't need windows, right? But it worked. They created contrast. They created contrast, and it worked. Contrast. Now, you could create contrast in your business too. You need to look around your marketplace and you need to see what everybody else is doing, right? And is there a way that you could follow the marketing principles that you know to be true and that you know to work and still find a way to create contrast in your market? Find a way to differentiate in your market, find a way to stand out. That's what Renewal by Andersen did. And that differentiation, that contrast that they created got them 5 seconds more of my time, right? So it was very, very valuable. And if it worked on me, it probably worked on a bunch of other people. And probably some of those people did need windows. So that's the first insight. Think about how you can create contrast, right? Second insight, make it matter, right? What do I mean by that? Make it matter. Well, if you look at this, what you'll notice is this is actually a pretty good deal. You buy one window or door and you get one window or door 40% off. And if you're not liquid and you don't got a lot of capital on you, they got great financing available, right? So that's a pretty good deal. You buy a window, you get 40% off the next window. That's a really good deal. So they took the attention that they got from creating contrast and they made sure they had something important to say. They made sure it's a payoff is what it is, guys. It's a payoff. When you get someone's attention, make sure you have something important to say. Make sure it matters, right? Because if you get their attention and then you don't give them a good deal or you don't make it matter, what you have to say is not newsworthy, then what happens is it almost feels like on a subconscious level, like you betrayed their trust or something, right? And they're going to see it like, oh, what a waste of time. Oh my God. And they get annoyed and they throw it away, right? That's not what happened here. They had a good deal. They made it matter, right? So originally we had the handwritten note, even though it's not handwritten, it just looks handwritten. We got the what looks like notebook paper, even though it's not notebook paper, it's an imitation, but this created contrast. And then they made that contrast matter with a good deal, right? What's the third insight? The third insight is between you and me, all right? The third insight is that you should always be looking behind the curtain. All right. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is this caught my attention. All right. It garnered 5 seconds more of my attention right at the recycling bin, right when I was dumping stuff in the recycling bin. I saved this because it looked different. It looked interesting. What is this? Let me take a look at this. They did that with good marketing. They did that, right? They got 5 seconds more of my attention, right? Now, because of that, and because they made it matter with a good deal, that made me curious. What did it make me curious to do? It made me curious to study them because they were good at what they were doing. So as I studied them and looked on the back, you can't probably see it here, but what it says is that this advertisement was done by a company that specializes in shared mailers. The company is called MSpark. That's MSpark. You can find it at MSpark.com, but they've been around since 1988, you guys. So obviously, you don't get to be an advertising solutions company who's been around since 1988 unless you're good at what you do. MSpark is good at what they do. Essentially, what they do is they started out in shared mailers. They started out in shared mailers like this. But then they moved into all kinds of other advertising solutions, digital and direct mail, all kinds of stuff. But the point is, because I paid attention to this ad, because I looked at this and I studied it, I learned about a new solution for advertising, which is MSpark. It's a company I'd never heard of before. I never heard of MSpark before, but now I know about them, and I know about them because I paid attention to this dumb little piece of paper that came in the mail. So what I'd say to you guys with those 3 insights, again, let me remind you, when it comes to insights, we're talking about, what are we talking about? I'll tell you what we're talking about. We're talking about attention grabbing secrets from the garbage bin. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about insights garnered from this little piece of paper. So just to reiterate them, create contrast, right? That's what this is. This was different than everything else I was throwing away. So I couldn't bring myself to throw it away. I had to look at it. Contrast, right? Make it matter. Once you get their attention, make sure you have something important to say, right? And then third, always be looking behind the curtain. That's it for me, guys. Listen, check it out. If you enjoy what I had to say today, if you got something out of this, be sure to check out ECIC group calls. You can find that over at epicconversions.com. The fact of the matter is, we go deep every single Thursday on ECIC group calls. I only got 10 minutes for these index card insights, but we go really deep, and we go really deep on group calls every single week. And it's a warm invitation to all you guys to check it out. Big Mike Hurd in the house. What is up, my friend? Guys, listen, if you got insight out of this episode today, leave me a comment. Give me your favorite insight. Give me your favorite insight. Let me know what you thought, guys. Love to hear from you. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another one. Peace, everybody.